Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to look at the none other a beast of a heavy tank, the 53 TP, the polished heavy tank at tier 8. I am not going to continue pronouncing the name because I have no idea how to pronounce that. But anyway, by far, for me, this is one of the strongest heavies I have encountered. Well, I think the Emil, the Swedish heavy tank, it's slightly better since it's an autoloader. But pretty much every single heavy tank at tier 8, it's quite strong. The Cheesy, the Tiger 2, like you have really amazing heavies at tier 8. So yeah, you shouldn't worry about that. But the 53 TP is such a unique heavy tank. Like I don't consider it a typical heavy. Like it's not your typical heavy. It has such an amazing mobility. Like the mobility is fantastic. The gun is fantastic. It's really amazing. Of course, like usual, it's going to be a two-part video. I'm going to discuss today about its total armor, and in the second part, we are going to continue talking about its overall statistics and its firepower. So let's dive into its armor because yeah, it's the main downside. So let's talk about the armor. Let's take a look at the 53 TP overall profile armor. Yeah, it's bad. It's not the best. Uh, yeah, of course, it's not the worst at tier 8, but still, for a heavy, its armor profile, it's pretty bad. Well, it's understandable. The mobility, the gun, followed by tungsten, solid overall DPM, so it's understandable, or otherwise, it's going to be quite an overpowered tank. But still, if you are going to use it hold down, at 6 to 8 degree of gun depression, they are going to struggle to cut right through your turret armor, but not for your upper plate. Like if they are going to use the correct type of ammunition, as you can see, the shooter is the Tiger 2, and this is while using calibrated shells. If they use the correct type of ammunition and they load their premium shells, they can cut right through you no matter what angle it is. So yeah, and of course it has troll armor, but don't rely on the armor. The weak sides are also very weak. Yeah, it's not the best. Of course, the rear everything is weak. So the only armor it has, it's on the turret. The turret it's quite armored, especially while using it hold down. But against any high tier 9 and a high caliber gun, they will cut right through your turret with no problem at all. If we take a look at A75 aiming at you, yeah, he can cut right through you. Now I'm not sure if it's actually he's going to pan you, but yeah, it's yeah, he can pan you if you got unlucky and the shell sneaked in. But yes, and that hatch is a problem also. But the hatch, it's not a big deal if you are using it hold down. And a quick tip for you: raise your gun and move slightly, angle slightly, and drive forward and backward slowly. It will make it difficult for them to aim. But don't overextend the turret. As you can see, he will pan you, so you're not doing that much. So yeah, against high tier tanks, especially tank destroyers, let me show you tank destroyers. Yeah, as you can see, the T-30 pretty much even at tier 8 with high caliber like the ISU 152, they can cut right through you. So yeah, the armor, it's not reliable. You only use it to hold down. Don't drive the 53 TP at out in the open at flat ground. They will cut right through you. Now, of course, it does have a troll armor, but not to an extent that like you see me in the hurry. Don't rely on the armor because they will pan you. Like, don't rely on your luck also. They will deal with you quite easily. They will have no problem panning you as long as you're using it hold down, using the amazing 8 degree of gun depression. Yeah, they are going to struggle, especially against lower tier 8 and tier 7. They are going to struggle with you. So that's the armor. Remember, mainly two things: don't rely on the armor, and don't try not to expose yourself to higher caliber gun and the higher tier tanks, because they will pan you easily. So that's the armor for you. I'm going to show you this game. It's one of many examples the capability of the 53 TP, and I am trying my best to show you recorded live recorded games, but this one is an exception. So let's see what we have. We have quite a strong lineup of heavies on my team, but like I always say, never rely on your teammates, and you are going to see that in shortly. And this game was weren't mastered, so keep that in mind. I pushed here quite aggressive at first. I really want to get in this spot, and I got punished for it. I was the first one, and yeah, it's okay, it's fine, it's not a big deal. I haven't noticed that my heavy are not catching up and they chose not to continue moving forward. You are going to see that shortly. Yeah, I noticed pretty much here. Yeah, the VK and the Tier 8 tank destroyer, the T-28, they didn't even bother to push with us. And that wasn't the armor, that was my luck, and I wasn't lucky again. They can pan me easily. I can't do nothing about it. Now, I'm in a quite a bit of trouble here. I have a dead driver and I'm surrounded by quite strong people. And I managed to clear off that projecto. I activated my tungsten. Look at that alpha. And yeah, yeah, that was a really necessary kill, or otherwise I wouldn't survive. Now, again, I'm in trouble. The K2 is in a very really bad spot. He's not angled his tank. But look at this gun. Look at that alpha. Look at that accuracy. Unfortunately, he's going to die, and I can do nothing about it. All I am asking here for that VK to push with me. Just shoot him once, and for God's sake, like they really did something. You know, like it's a good thing they even thought about helping. Yeah, and the IS-6 is not the best. Like I am the actual threat here, and he's ignoring me. Again, look at that alpha. It is insane for a tier 8, of course. And yeah, I'm still in trouble. I have a dead driver. Now I'm going to try my best here not to bleed, but again on the flat ground I can't do nothing about it. But even though with that driver, look at that mobility. The mobility on the 53 TP is amazing. I really like them. Yeah, I loaded my going around the APCR. I want to make sure that I can ban him, and I did, of course. Mind you, I was using here gun ram and not calibrated shells because it was not mastered the crew, so I don't want to suffer that much on my reload time. So I fixed my driver, I hit him, and I'm going to use the IS-6 as a cover to cover my weak upper plate. And yeah, he can't do nothing about it, he already gave up. And I'm waiting. I'm not going to do the mistake again and push to push first and let me bleed for my teammates. I'm not going to do this again. I'm waiting for them. I'm trying my best here to sneak that shell in, activated my tungsten, and unfortunately I couldn't ban them. But here, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the VK decided to do something, and I didn't want to waste my tungsten. I managed to get the shell in, absolutely amazing. And again, I'm using the 8 degree here of non-depression, trying my best. They cannot ban me, they cannot deal with me. So yeah, it's really amazing. Aiming and look at this gun, look at this accuracy. For what it is, you know, it's a high caliber gun, and the amount of accuracy it has, it's really amazing. And I am not over yet. You know, did that YZ think that he's going to get away? No, he's not. You cannot escape the 53 TP. Look at that mobility. I'm aiming. I'm aiming at you, and boom, you're dead. Yes, the 53 TP is by far one of my favorite tier 8 heavies. It's really amazing. I highly advise you to get your hands on it because you are going to regret it. It's an ace, of course. Yeah, it's freaking amazing. It's awesome. That was the game for you. I specifically chose that game, even though it was pre-recorded. It just show you the capability of the 53 TP, how strong it is, and yeah, even though I was in a quite difficult spot, I was surrounded, and I also understand they weren't the best, but my team also wasn't the best as usual. My VK and the T28 was absolutely useless. They stopped like when the action begins, like they were moving forward for what? To stop at the spawn because they were afraid. Imagine you are afraid in a VK. So yeah, and with all that said, I managed to hold off my position and put off an ace. I won that. And another thing I should also mention, even though the mobility is fantastic, it's really great to have that mobility. The 53 TP is really fast, but as you can see, I find myself, I am the first one to reach front line, like I am the first one in front of them. So yeah, just chill out a bit, relax. Like I will always say, don't depend on your teammates because you are going to reach front line against well capable heavy tanks. So yeah, and especially if you don't have the best armor. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. The second part is going to be about its firepower capability. So make sure you stay around. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye bye.